Good afternoon. Today we
Hi,
want to welcome Brooke Bartlett with CMG Home Loans. Brooke, welcome to Network in Action.
Hi, Jessica. Thanks for having me.
Super, super excited to have you on board. I want to ask you a couple questions about your business today. Kicking it off with what inspired you to start your journey of becoming a home loan officer, and how has that initial inspiration evolved over time?
Absolutely. I actually stumbled upon the mortgage world. I graduated with a degree in economics and finance. I'm a total numbers nerd. I knew I wanted to do something really with money and numbers, finance world, but I had no idea that really everything in mortgage existed. And it was a lucky chance because I love combining working with people, helping people, along with getting to utilize my skills in finance. As
Yeah.
far as the evolution, I think that's been the biggest piece, is really expanding on the growth of the relationships and not just a single transaction, which is maybe where it was when I first started. And it definitely has evolved into, building clients that I've worked with multiple times over years and years and years. I've worked with their family and developing relationships with referral partners, with realtors that I've worked with, some of them for almost 2 decades. So yeah, it's
I
definitely
can
expanded.
attest to that. That was one of my initial draws as having you a member. Is I was telling you before this call, even we have share a lot of realtor partners who speak very highly of you
Thank
over
you.
time, which I think says a lot about you. So good for you. Good for you on that. What has been your biggest challenge as a business owner, and how have you overcome it?
I think the biggest challenge for me has been the work-life balance, and especially with having young children and all of their activities, things that we like to do as a family. In the mortgage business specifically, along with real estate, we don't always get set, 9 to 5 hours. There is a lot of nights and weekends and, time in between. So I think that's been the biggest challenge, is balancing that, setting boundaries, but also being available, because a lot of those, people find houses on nights and weekends and they need information from me sometimes. So really, again, setting those personal boundaries, but also finding time to make sure that I can help my clients when they need it.
I love that. So there are lots of different ways to measure success. How do you measure success in your business beyond just the financial metrics?
Good question. Um, for me, it's all about, the number of families that I work with. I can look back on the year and see how many people I helped get into a new home, whether that's first-time home buyers, which are always so much fun and probably some of my favorites, or, if it's people downsizing or buying a home for their family or buying investment properties, to set up their larger financial goals. So really, it's, being able to look back on that and see the impact that we've been able to make of people starting in that journey of home ownership and investing in their future. And everything else just kind of falls where it falls, to be honest.
Yeah. So tell us, Brooke, what makes working with Brooke Bartlett special or different than working with another home loan officer?
Yeah, thank you. I really think the difference is that I try really hard to look at the whole picture. Not just, do they qualify for a house? What does that look like for this payment? This, moving on with this transaction. It's looking at someone's big picture. What are their dreams? What are their goals, for their family, for their finances, for their investments, for retirement? Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor, but I can most certainly help set them on a path to achieving those goals, and financial freedom at some point in the future, whatever that looks like. It's different for each person, but looking at the big picture and making sure they're educated to where they feel comfortable with those decisions, not just me telling them what the path is that they should be on, but really them learning and feeling confident that that's where they want to go.
Yeah. I love the educational component that you mentioned because it really takes the transaction out of it and does make you a mortgage lender for life. And one of the most
Sure.
common questions I get when I start working with a client is they think that they're all the same, right? They think
Mhm.
all mortgage loan professionals are the same or offer the same products or the same rates, and they don't realize how very, very different they are and how important it is to choose wisely when you're choosing the professional that you're going to work with and someone who is got a reputation and great. You've got really some great Google reviews and a lot of referral partners and very active in a business community. And so you really work to set yourself apart from the others. And so I commend you on that.
Thank you.
And thank you for taking the time with us today. We appreciate all that you bring to our community, and we are honored to have you on board.
Well, thank you for inviting me. I'm excited to be a part of this group and just continue, expanding those relationships in our community.